into the Word. You guys go ahead and follow me to Proverbs chapter 3. I'm going to read a Bible verse. And if you don't have a Bible, don't worry. I mean, you could just listen. Proverbs chapter 3. We're going to read verses 5 through 7. I know a lot of you guys already know that Bible verse by memory. 5 through 7. It's a very known Proverbs. I titled this message, Success. Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 through 7 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Never rely on what you think you know. Remember the Lord in everything you do, and He will show you the right way. Never let yourself think that you are wiser than you are. Simply obey the Lord and refuse to do wrong. If you do, it will be like good medicine, healing your wounds and easing your pains." Right here in this proverb, it's giving us instructions to trust the Lord with all our hearts. Trust. Trust is not a very easy thing to do. You know, fully depend on, fully rely on. How many of you guys have applied this proverb to y'all's lives? You know, that sincerely you applied it in every area of your lives. You know, I was thinking the other day, how God is amazing. You know, we're not robots. I was just literally sitting there thinking, I was looking at the trees, looking at the birds, looking at everything, and God is amazing that He gives each and every one of us, He gives all of us the opportunity to make our own decisions, to make our own choices. You know, we could think. You know, we could think whatever it is we want to think. We could do whatever it is we desire. We make our own choices. We're not robots. That's amazing. You know, think about that. He's given all of us the privilege to do what we want, what we desire, you know, and He just created us. He's an amazing God, and He's a patient God. Because I think about myself, and I'm not righteous. I'm getting a little bit off topic, guys, but we'll come right back on it. There's nothing righteous about me. There's nothing good about me. And God is so good. He's so good that all He wants is the best for all of us. You know, He created us for a purpose, and He wants the best for us to multiply, to be blessed. He wants us to have our homes, our families, to eat, you know, to join together, to love each other. He wants the best for us. But us humans, you know, we destroy everything. We mess everything up. God made everything so simple, but we twist everything with our desires of our hearts. You know, us humans, we destroyed everything. And God could just say, you know what, I'm just so sick and tired, which He did do it in the past. But He could just say, I'm just so sick and tired of this, man. You know, I give these people not days, not months. I give them year after year, seconds after seconds, minutes after minutes, hours after hour to do the right thing, and they still choose not to. I'm just going to erase them off the face of the earth. I'm going to destroy them. I'm going to eliminate them, and they will never exist again. He has the power and the authority to do that, and He doesn't do it. That's an amazing God. That's a patient God. He puts up with our nonsense. He puts up with our foolish things. He's a good God. You know? I was thinking about that the other day, and God is amazing. Going back to this, you know, I got a little bit off topic, but going back to this, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Never rely on your own way of thinking. Never rely on what you think is right. Trust Him. It says acknowledge Him in all your ways. Does it say only to acknowledge Him in some things and in other things not to? It says to acknowledge Him in all your ways. In everything you do, every decision you do. You guys are young. You know what I mean? Everybody in here is young, including myself. Right? We're all young. We're on our prime time. Some of us are on our prime time. You know, some of us are making families now, homes. But we need to trust the Lord in all our ways and acknowledge Him in all our ways, and He will direct our path. But a lot of us can't do that. We don't know how to do that. We don't have no type of relationship with God. We don't include Him in our decisions. We don't include Him in nothing that we do. And then we struggle in life. And then when we're struggling, we try to turn around and say, hey, God, what's going on? When we didn't make Him a part of our decision. We didn't trust Him in all our ways. And then we still try to turn around and ask Him what's going on. You guys get what I'm talking about? Life is easy if we learn to do this simple step of trusting the Lord in all our ways and not leaning on what we know. How many of you guys like to have success? It feels good to be successful, doesn't it? It feels good to accomplish things. That feels real good. It's satisfying. And I'm pretty sure God likes that too. He likes people that have success. You know, that they become successful in their lives. God loves that for our lives here in the temporal world. It's all temporal, you know? And I'm pretty sure it makes him happy when that success, and we give honor and glory to God because it came from him, because he gave it to us. When we acknowledge him in all our ways. Victories. Victory, the definition of a victory is an act of defeating an enemy or an opponent in a battle, game or competition, an achievement. You know, back in the days, you think about the gangs in all these days, they fight over territory. But back in the day, it was almost similar. They were going through war after war and some really, how do you say it, gruesome? Is that the word? Wars over territories. They used to, you know, fight over territories, and you had, you know, the people of Israel always fighting the Philistines and all that kind of stuff, you know. But the difference between the people of Israel is that they were led by prophets of the Lord. You know what I mean? They were given instructions by God. You know, God would actually give them instructions. Hey, go to this city, and if they don't want to receive, you know, whatever it is that we do, an act of peace, instructions from us, and go ahead and destroy everything, eliminate everything in the city. I'm talking about animals, kids, donkeys, everything, even babies. I want you to eliminate. That's our God. I want you to eliminate it. You know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure God gives opportunity, just like he gave it to Nineveh. You know what I mean? He gives opportunities. And that's how God functioned back in the Old Testament. He's still the same God. He hasn't changed. But he makes pacts with us. You know? And in the Old Testament, he used to function like that. You know? But the difference between the other people is that they were fighting for territory, for power. They were fighting to gain authority and power and to gain territory. That's what they were fighting for. Stuff that didn't mean nothing. But a lot of these wars, a lot of these conflicts that they had in the old guys, the people of Israel always had a victory when they were accompanied by God. You know what I mean? When they would do things the right way. When they would look for the Lord, you know what I mean? And the Lord would say, go for it. I'm going to give you victory in this battle. I'm going to give you success in this battle. That's the only time they ever had victory in any of their battles. And a lot of the battles were lost when a lot of the times, a lot of them weren't doing things the right way. When they were sin, you know, amongst the tribes. When they were sinning, when they were doing things wrong. That's when they lost their battles. That's when they lost their victories. You know, King Saul lost a lot by doing things his way, the way he thought they were right. You know? And I don't know if you guys want to get anything out of this message, guys. But I'm telling you, the Lord will give you victory if you make him part of your plans and you trust him no matter what. He will give you victory over your relationships. He will give you victory over a simple car, a desire, a career, a deal, a purchase, an addiction, a sin, a compulsion, a sickness. He will give you victory over anything if you look for him and acknowledge him in all your ways and make him part of your plans. It's a for sure guarantee, 100%, 101 that you're going to have victory. That's the problem. We don't do that. We don't look for him in that. We make our own plans. You know? And then our plans fall apart. And then we're discouraged. And we didn't even go look for the Lord. You know? The other day I went to go purchase a shed. I need to get a shed because I'm about to have a kid and store stuff, make room in my house. And I went to Sam's Club. And there was a shed there and I really liked. I was like, man, I gotta get this. I gotta get this. You know? And I was really like desperate. Like I really want to just pay for it right there. I'm like, man, what if somebody just comes in and buys this shed? And my dad was like, calm down. You know what I mean? If it's for you, it's gonna be for you. And then my mom was like, no, because then somebody else might buy it. You better go put your money down on that. You know, don't lose this opportunity. And I was thinking about it. Last Sunday, I was here in class, and I was thinking, man, when I get out of church, I'm going to go to Sam's, I'm going to buy a shed, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And I couldn't stop thinking about it. Oh, I'm going to lose this opportunity. They're going to buy this pretty cheap. Because they were selling me the display. And I went home, and I went and dropped all my kids at my parents' house because they hate going out to run errands. And we went, and when we were all on our way over there, I was just like thinking and thinking. And when I got there and I parked, I told my wife, I'm like, you know what? I said, let's pray real quick. I said, Lord, I know you got better things to do. But I want to acknowledge you in all my ways, and this is something small. But I want to be faithful in the small and the big and everything. I want to acknowledge you even on this purchase. I'm going to purchase this, and I want to have complete peace. And if this is from you, nobody's going to buy that shed, even if I don't purchase it right now. Because I still had to figure out who was going to tow it out of there, because it was a display. And I was waiting on this phone call from this guy that was telling me, yeah, I'm going to tow it out for you. You know, just give me $200 and I'll do it for you. We'll make it happen. So I walk into Sam's Club and the guy's like, yeah, I mean, it's yours. You want to pay for it? We'll give you 24 hours to get it out of here, but we'll give you 2-3 extra days. Laura was like, well, I don't know. I mean, do you want to get it? And I'm just like, yeah, I think I'm just going to go ahead and put the money down already. And then I said, you know what? No, I'll come purchase it the day I come with that guy with the tow truck. I'll pay for it then. And if it's still here, it's for me. I told him like that. I took off. I felt complete peace. And right when I leave, I get this text message from this guy, and he tells me, hey, you know what? Looking at it right, because I sent him pictures, I can't tow that shit out of there. I don't have the right equipment. And I just felt complete peace, and I said, man, if I would have put this money down right now and he would have texted me that, I would have been worried all night trying to call other tow companies trying to get that shit out of there. And I would have been so filled with anxiety and upset. You know what I mean? And then the very next day, I go to my parents' house, and we're just sitting there having coffee. And my dad's looking through sheds, and he finds this company out on Fort Worth. And they had a shed for $1,800. A real nice one, metal one. Those ones that you can move around. And he was like, they want $1,800. I'm like, that's a good price. And he's like, calm down. He's like, make him an offer. You know what I mean? My mom was like, yeah, but that's a good price. You know what I mean? You know. And my dad was like, you guys need to calm down. So I said, tell him $1,500. From $1,800 to $1,500. Tell him $1,500. And if it's for me, that shit's for me. And I went home, and the next day I was at work, and I called my dad. I'm like, did that guy ever reply? He's like, he's going to reply. So then I'm at work, and I'm like, Lord, if that shit is for me, they're going to give it to $1,500 with delivery. I'm not going to pay nothing for delivery. They're going to give it to me, and I know it's going to be from you. I just know it's going to be from you, and I trust you that you want the best for me, even though it's something small. But I want to acknowledge you in all my decision making. I want the victory on this. My dad calls me back. He's like, hey, that guy accepted it. He said they're doing the inventory. They're going to go ahead and drop it at $1,500. They're going to deliver it for me. And I'm like, oh, I got to go pay for it now. You know what I mean? Before anybody else jumps on it, I'm like, calm down. Just be patient. You know what I mean? And he's like, if that shit's for you, nobody's going to take it. And I finally went. I paid for that shit. You know, and I felt so good. I feel complete peace. They even told me, when do you want us to deliver it? You know, everything. I just felt complete victory over the situation. And that's when you learn how to trust the Lord in all your ways and lean not on your own understanding. And the Lord will give you victory over things like that, no matter what. But we tend to do things our way. And we don't trust in Him, and we tend to lean on our own understanding. And especially the way the world is moving now these days, guys. That we have, you know, the medicine is so advanced, technology is so advanced, and we don't sought out the Lord for nothing anymore. We run to a doctor, we run to, you know the advanced technology of this world, and then we trust in these things so much, and we're putting the Lord out of all our decision makings. And everything falls apart from us. And then we still turn around and ask God why. And God's like, you never looked for me in your decision making. I would have gave you victory over this. I would have gave you the best. Even if it was something just so small that you were going to do. I would have been a part of that. You would have had complete peace. I would have gave you the best deal. But you did your own ways. And I'm telling you guys, because you guys are young, and you guys are going to make so many decisions along the way. And this is the key right here. And He will set the path straight. You know, we're about to finish, guys. If you guys can follow me to... We're just going to stick right here in Proverbs and Psalms. But I want you guys to follow me to Proverbs 21, verse 30. Guys, God will heal. He's still the same yesterday, today, and forever. He hasn't changed. Just because medicine has advanced, that doesn't mean God's not willing, you know, to do a miracle for you. He'll still do it. You know, think about it. Technology knows so much. Medicine knows so much. But when we're in our mother's womb, Who's the one that places our soul, our spirit in that body? Can technology prove that? Who's the one that places that character inside the body? Only God can prove that. Only God can show that. That's how amazing God is. He cares about us. You know, King David talked about, you took care of me on my mother's breast. You took care of me when I couldn't take care for myself. And, you know, he took care of all you guys till this age, from a very young age. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 30 and on. It says, human wisdom, brilliance, insight, they are no help if the Lord is against you. You guys hear that? Human wisdom, brilliance, insight, they are no help if the Lord is against you. If the hand of the Lord is against you, you're not going to get nowhere. You know? And then it says right here in verse 31, you can get horses ready for battle, but it is the Lord who gives victory. Did you guys hear that? And back in those days, the kings used to rely on their horses, on their chariots, on their army. So you could pretty much say right now, you know, if you think that your victory is going to be in your own strength and all the studying you do, and that you're going to have a victory no matter what and success in your career, and you're completely wrong. You're going to stress yourself out. You know what I mean? If you think your victory is going to be through medicine, through a doctor, and that you place all your trust in that, you're completely wrong. Because what happens when medicine says, we can't do nothing no more, it's terminal. Who are you going to turn to next? Victory comes from God. Understand that. Victory comes only from God, not from human beings. We can't do nothing. What does human beings do when there's a tornado or a hurricane? Can they do anything? They can't do nothing. They're out of control. It's out of their reach. Victory comes from God, guys. Success comes from God. You guys need to understand that right now that you guys are growing up. And then right here in Psalms 21, it's back the other way. This is Proverbs 21. I read this on the 21st of this month. And I said, I'm going to read it on the 21st Proverbs, and then I'm going to read Psalms the 21st. And then check this out. It's just crazy. God is amazing. You know, I was like, I'm going to read each day a proverb. And the 21st of this month, I read the proverb, and I went back to Psalms 21, and then look what it says. Praise for victory. You know, victory comes from the Lord. The Lord doesn't make no mistakes. I'll go ahead and read chapter 20. It's really short. Okay, guys? And then we're going to get out of here. May the Lord answer you when you are in trouble. May God of Jacob protect you. May he send you help from his temple and give you aid from Mount Zion. May he accept all your offerings and be pleased with all your sacrifices. May he give you what you desire. Did you hear that? You think God is against that? I used to feel like, no, I'm not going to pray for that. I mean, there's kids dying. There's people going through so much right now. I mean, God doesn't care about my little decision making. He does care about it. He does care about the smallest thing you're going to do. That's amazing. You know, that the creator of this world cares about your little decisions that you're going to make in life. And then when you get victory, you're like, oh, Lord, thank you. And then he accepts that praise. Man, I gave you that victory, son, daughter. I gave it to you. You know what I mean? He loves that kind of stuff. But sometimes we think he doesn't. You know, our desires. And make all your plans succeed. You guys hear that? For you guys that are going to be successful in life. He will make all your plans succeed. Everything. When you acknowledge him. I see people right now that have thrown the Lord out the door, and they're in college, they're in universities, and they're super stressed out. Talk to them. And they're so depressed, and they're so miserable. Yeah, they're chasing after their dream, but they're miserable. What's the point of that? There's no point in that. But imagine when you see the victories from God. It says, then we will shout for joy over our victory and celebrate your trumpet by praising our God. May the Lord answer all your requests. I'm not making that up. It's saying right here. May he answer you all your requests. Now I know that the Lord gives victory to his chosen king. He answers him from his holy heaven, and by his power he gives him great victories. Some trust in their war chariots, and others in their horses. You see what I'm saying? Those other countries trusted in their chariots, and the men they had, they trusted in all the strength, the human strength. You can't get no victory from that. Only God gives it. It says, but we trusted in the power of our Lord God. Such people will stumble and fall, but we will rise and stand firm. Give victory to the king, O Lord. Answer us when we call. And then chapter 21 says, then the king said, O Lord, because you gave me strength, you gave him strength. He rejoices because you made him victorious. Who made him victorious? Who made King David victorious? God. Victory came from God, not from men. Look what happened to Saul. Read a little bit about Saul. You know, the Lord took away everything that he blessed him with. You have given him his heart's desires. You have answered his request. You can come to him with great blessings and set your crown of gold on his head. He asked for his life and you gave it to him, a long and lasting life. Who does life come from? The Lord. King David was sick one time. He was going to die. And he cried out to God in Psalms. He cried out to the Lord because he was dying. And the Lord healed him. The Lord restored him. Because King David made mistakes. He was a murderer. He took another man's wife. He did mistakes, but he said, Lord, forgive me, Lord, I messed up. Sins will block those blessings from your life too. You know what I mean? They won't even make it to the Lord if you are engaging in sin and you don't tell him, hey, search the sin in me, Lord. I want to be right with you. I want your blessings. You know? It says, his glory is great because of your help. You have given him favor and majesty. Your blessings are with him forever, and your presence fills him with joy. The king trusts in the Lord Almighty, and because of the Lord's constant love, he will always be secure. The king will capture all his enemies. He will capture everyone who hates him. He will destroy them like a blazing fire. When he appears, the Lord will devour him in his anger, and fire will consume them. None of their descendants will survive. The king will kill them all. It says they make their plans and plot against him, but they will not succeed. Why? Because God is with him. He will shoot his arrows at them and make them turn and run. We praise you, O Lord, for your great strength. We will sing and praise your power. Guys, if you want victory, if you want success in your life, it could be in anything. I'm saying it to you again. Relationships, marriage, buying a car, a career, health, anything. I'm talking about from the smallest to the biggest. You're not going to get victory in your own human strength. And in the advanced technology, advanced medicine, even, what do we call those? Psychologists. You're not going to get your victories with them if you're struggling with some mental issues, with depression, anxiety. Only God can give you the victory. Only he will give you success. But you have to look for him first. You have to make him part of your plans, and he will set your path straight. We go back to Proverbs 3:5, and it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on you. How many mistakes have you guys made? A whole bunch. Don't lean on yourself, because you're going to make more and more and more, and you're going to get frustrated. And God didn't have no part in that. It was all your decision making. So if you want victories, it says acknowledge him in all your ways. For those of you guys that want to be doctors, want to be police officers, want to be lawyers, if you want to achieve that, make God part of that plan. Make him part of that plan, and he will give you success in everything. Everything. All right, guys? I'll leave you guys with that. Thank you.